The latest news is, how long ago was January 6, 2021?
Oh, I can tell you because I put the exact date out on Twitter this morning because I was really shocked by what came out yesterday. It has been 1,458 days since January 6th of 2021.
It has been 4 years on Monday. 4 years. And one of the stories that people don't even know about is now the infamous pipe bombs of January 6th. Is everyone familiar with the pipe bombs of January 6th?
Yes.
For those who aren't, because I only know a little bit, could you just give a little bit of information?
I'll give as much of a backdrop as I can give on this, and my backdrop is thanks to the information provided by Darren J. Beatty of The Revolver, who did a multiple expose on this, Jack Posobiec, Dan Bongino, who have been talking about it from the beginning. It's a little known fact that there were two pipe bombs placed, one outside the DNC and one sort of outside the RNC, but it was in the back alley near a dumpster or something. The one placed in front of the DNC, the Democrat National Committee headquarters, where Kamala Harris was allegedly placed 16 hours before it was discovered the night before, and it was allegedly, according to the FBI, an active or functional or potentially lethal pipe bomb. There were two pipe bombs placed the night before, allegedly. They were discovered, both of these pipe bombs, fortuitously within 15 minutes of each other on January 6th itself, 10 to 15 minutes before the breach of the Capitol or in proximity of the breach of the Capitol.
Who found them?
Good question. It was a random citizen for the RNC pipe bomb. And I don't think we know who found the DNC pipe bomb. It's like somebody goes up to the police and says, there's a pipe bomb under the table. By the way, why it's so suspicious? They had allegedly been planted the night before, only discovered 15 minutes from each other during the breach of the Capitol on January 6th. The area had been swept by bomb dogs. It wasn't like tucked into a hidden passage. It was in a bag by a bench, conspicuously placed there and in full visibility, allegedly for 16 hours. Discovered 16 hours later after Secret Service and whoever did their sweep, because Kamala Harris, the first black Indian woman president, or vice president, was in the DNC at the time. This could have been an attack on her life. They were there allegedly for 16 hours. The interesting thing about the pipe bombs is, I don't have the image, but they look oddly like pipe bombs that the feds use in training exercises. And they have a little timer on them. They got a little pipe, whatever. Okay. The interesting thing about the timer is it's a 1 hour timer. And so if they had been placed 16 hours prior and somehow...
Is that it right there?
Oh,
Kelly,
yeah, that's the one that was found.
Oh, it's a timer? Dude, that's like a comic.
It's a
That's like the movie.
No way!
Dude, that's like
swear
the
to you.
movie Naked Gun.
Yes. No, but first of all, from what
It's a naked gun bomb.
From what I've been explained...
Is it a kitchen timer?
It's a kitchen timer.
Such a
but this
fake
is what the FBI... It very much resembles what the FBI uses in training exercises. It's a 1 hour timer. So kind of useless if it was allegedly planted there 16 hours before. It's discovered by somebody who says, hey, cops, look at this. And there's a footage. I didn't want to bring it because it's 7 minutes long. Darren J. Beatty has it on Revolver. It's a 7-minute video after they have been notified, there's two police officers, that there's a bomb there. They do nothing for like a solid 5 minutes. Children walk by. They do nothing. These bombs, we don't know who planted them. For whatever the reason. We don't know who discovered the one outside the DNC. We know who discovered the one outside the RNC. And 4 years later, by the way, people watching are never going to have heard of this, and you're going to ask yourself, how is it that the day of the insurrection, we didn't hear about pipe bombs that could have killed the first black Indian female vice
Jamaican,
president?
but go ahead.
I just thought the joke there is like, Ketanji Brown Jackson won't be able to tell if she's a woman, but somehow can identify that she's black or Indian.
Yeah.
But many of you are going to say, how the hell have we never heard of this? Because it's the greatest cover-up and it's the greatest conspiracy of January 6th, which highlights...
Why wouldn't they want to say, hey, guys, these people tried to bomb?
Good question, Vinny.
Yeah,
There's
you.
no good answer for that. There is no good answer for why Kamala Harris, who wants to milk, and exploit and lie about January 6th as a white supremacist MAGA insurrection, overthrow democracy, there's no reason why they would not harp until the day is
there was
over.
bombs.
There was a bomb. They tried to kill the first black Indian woman VP.
Jamaican. But and why? Yeah, there's no... Jamaican. She's not African-American. She's Jamaican.
So why wouldn't they? There's no good reason why they wouldn't, except if it would expose what is the underlying potential conspiracy behind all of this.
FBI probably let that guy's probably a Fed and left fingerprints like an idiot.
Either a Fed, either a part of the DC apparatus that wanted to have either a backup in case the insurrection didn't amount to the insurrection they needed, or one of the theories, I think it's
confidential human
Chief Sund.
Oh, Chief Sund.
Chief Sund had a theory that it was intended to be discovered to distract the police force from the Capitol so they could then say, oh, they breached the Capitol because they were responding to the pipe bomb.
Got it.
But by that time, they had actually already breached the Capitol because they were let in through the doors and whatever. And so they didn't need that as a backup, and it got a little too messy, and so they just decided to conceal it. But where this all goes is 4 fucking years later, the FBI releases newly released footage to try to find the pipe bomb. Can we play this? Can we play this footage?
Yeah,
There's a bunch of issues with this.
Now they want to try to find who this.
What's his name's house in 24 hours.
Exactly, Kelly. Yeah, Shamshud Al-Amin Hedda.
Play this video because there's a bunch of interesting things about the surveillance footage.
Go ahead. Oh, that's the typical Fed outfit. Go ahead.
You're watching previously unreleased video of the mysterious person who planted pipe bombs
By the way, why is
outside
he,
the offices
so
of the
pixelated?
Democratic and Republican national committees in Washington, D.C. a day before the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol.
Hoodie,
the
face
FBI
mask.
is releasing the footage and more information.
Wearing
in hopes
shoes,
of
by the way, that are
generating
very
new
unique. You'll see in a
tips for
second.
the pipe bomb investigation. Authorities previously offered a reward of up to $500,000 for information leading to the suspect's arrest and conviction.
Also known as
Investigators
payroll.
estimate the unidentified suspect to be about 5 feet
Okay, listen to
7
this.
inches
The shoes.
tall. The most distinctive part of the suspect's outfit are a pair of black and gray Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes with a yellow logo. The FBI says fewer than 25,000 pairs of the same shoe were sold between August 2018 and January 2021. The pipe bombs were discovered about 17 hours after they were planted. Fortunately, nobody was hurt before the bombs were rendered safe, but the FBI says both devices could have been lethal.
Could have been lethal. I mean, technically, if you hit someone over the head with it, it could be lethal. Because there's an argument as to whether or not they were inert or not operable. Because if they were, and then the police, after being notified there's 2 pipe bombs, let children walk in front of it, let Kamala Harris stand, they knew that they were not lethal. Interesting thing about that surveillance footage, you might ask, why is it that we're seeing this guy like pixelated taking steps? It's 1 frame per second. And so, Darren, this is Darren J. Beatty's research on this. This is not my knowledge, but it's mine now because I've taken it. Knowledge is the gift you can never take back.
Yes.
The lowest commercial grade surveillance video you get is something like, I don't know, 5-7 frames per second. The bit frame on that was either reduced, tinkered with, or whatever. We are to believe that in D.C., which has the most secure area on Earth, this is right outside the DNC, that the best they have is surveillance footage from 1980s Russia. Makes 0 sense. They got the guy's shoes. There's only been 25,000 pairs sold. You could pretty much identify each and every person who bought those shoes if you had to.
25,000 in the nation or
within
25,000 area?
No. I think it's within the nation. They said they're pretty exclusive. Within 3 years. And those look pretty, I mean, you can presume those are pretty new. The bottom line to all of this is, it was a Fedsurrection. It was all one big plot, one big cover-up, and it's going to become unraveled. I don't know. I've been saying sooner than later for like 2 years now. But the question is, why on earth release this footage now of the pipe bomb? Previously unreleased, they had their January 6th committee, which we didn't get to see this evidence apparently, the day after the terrorist attack in New Orleans.
Good question.
I watch a video like that, and I don't say, I was just watching, the movie was called The Big Short.
Great movie.
Great movie.
I love
that. And I wrote down the line. I hadn't actually tweeted it. It's still in my drafts because I was on a plane. The line in the movie where they're interviewing the agents or the brokers, and the guys are like telling them everything they're doing. They're like giving mortgages to immigrants who can't. And he's like, why are they confessing?
He said, they're not confessing, they're bragging.
They're bragging. The FBI right now is not asking for help. They're bragging and they're intimidated. This is my personal view. They're reminding everybody, A, this is what we can do, and B, this is what some people, the people who hear dog whistles, might want to do. This is like a call to action to some extent. Hey, we're 2 days out of January 6th, 4th year anniversary, 2 weeks out of Trump's inauguration, the day after this terrorist attack in New Orleans. Let's release previously unreleased footage of the pipe bomber on January 6th from 4 years ago. Wow. It makes no sense except for what they're trying to say, which is not that they need help, because they don't need help for anything. They've got everyone's phone records. They've tapped everything. They know everything. This is something more sinister. This is either bragging or dog whistling.
David, there was a phone number there. I'm gonna call them. I'm be like, it was you guys.
Yeah,
I get
no, it's you.
500,000.
Yeah.
But hey, thank God, Liz Cheney got her medal for being so brave, investigating this whole thing.
Dude,
this is just a blimp in the radar compared to the
Ridiculous.
brave work that she did
what did she get an award for?
for the Jan 6 committee.
For being on the committee.
Yeah.
She deserves another award.
She got the Presidential Honor.
Oh my goodness.
He has no idea what the hell
Presidential Citizens Medal, one of the nation's highest civilian honors, to 20 people, including Liz Cheney and 2 personal close advisors.
Just so we're clear, she belongs in jail, and I'll give concrete reasons. She was back-channeling, manipulating evidence, suborning perjury from Hutchison in the context of that committee. They unlawfully deleted evidence after that thing is over. She's a lawyer, by the way, and she was contacting someone who she knew was represented by a counsel through back channels, violating a code of ethics for attorneys and violating laws as relates to tampering with witnesses. She belongs in jail, so maybe that's the next award she'll get.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is, like, they are rubbing in our faces that, hey, you know, the only person who never got charged until years later and then got a slap on the wrist, 1 misdemeanor charge, was
Ray
their
Epps?
boy Ray Epps.
Yeah.
They can't find the pipe bomber 4 years out, and now they're releasing newly released footage, pixelated rubbish,
Yeah.
and saying, hey, we need the public's help. Bullshit. This is to say to the public, this is what we can do, and this is what some people might, you know, contemplate doing again this time.
Do you think anything's going to happen this January 6th or even inauguration?
So I don't know. I mean, are they going to not put up bollards to prevent vehicular traffic from
Oh my God.
approaching?
Did
Who
you
the hell
see that?
knows?
Yeah, Did you see Ann Kirkpatrick, the police chief in New Orleans? She's like, oh, yeah, we put those barriers up, and they go, well, where are they? She goes, I actually don't know because we never even used them. Like, what the
Oh, no,
what?
look, if this woman, she was in front of, like, yellow blockades.
Ann
These are the
Kirkpatrick.
temporary ones. Oh, well, we've had these the whole time.
Yeah, but
Why didn't you fucking put them up the
Yeah,
other day?
she has no-
Oh, well, because, you know,
I don't even know what they are.
it's
Brother, you know she hit 2 people with her car in August? That
that a
girl,
joke?
Ann Kirkpatrick, police chief of New Orleans, hit 2 people with her car. She's 80. She's old as shit.
you can't you could make this stuff up, but no one would believe it. But the bottom line is, you know, is something going to happen? They've been laying the groundwork for
Something big.
We're unable to prevent certain types of things.
I mean, look at just the last week, everything that's happened. Like between now and the inauguration, who knows? I mean, even
Oh.
the Cybertruck thing with Elon Musk, he's another target they're going to be coming after, especially playing a role in the administration. So
Hey, it's
you never know.
how about this? And I want to go to the next. I'm going to go to you. I don't believe the FBI at all. I think they don't do. I think they're one of the worst institutions. I'm being dead serious. Why do we even need? What do they do, bro? If it's not
Vinny,
about Trump, what do they do? Honestly,
Just take the most recent New Orleans attack. They come out and say when there was an ISIS flag on the ground behind the truck, it's not a terrorist attack. They come out and then say, we've got video surveillance of accomplices planting IEDs. Then they come out and say, it was a terrorist attack, and the guy was acting alone. They literally say A and not A within a period of 24 hours, so you don't know what to believe. It's the definition of gaslighting, so they can spread disinformation, and then anybody who repeats it later on, when they said not A, they can say, hey, you were wrong for saying A. In the New Orleans alone, they literally said the exact opposites within 24 hours of their own statements.
Ugh.
That's intelligence. That's intelligence.
Yeah, that's a lack of intelligence. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.